What's up, YouTubes? Haven't made a video in a while, so I thought I would kind of document where I'm at in my arm wrestling journey, how my year 2024 has been so far. Tomorrow is June, so the year's about half over. And so far it's been a pretty eventful year. I haven't been nearly as active as I'd like to be, but it's been for good reason. I've been really locked in the gym, just trying to get as strong as I can and trained up as I can. So basically in the last 6 months, I've probably got more training in than the rest of my 5 years put together. That very well may be an accurate statement. I've put a lot of work in, and it's showing. So most all of that work has went into my right arm. My left arm is feeling good. It's good, but I don't train it unless it's something that requires two hands to do. So most of the training ends up being in my right arm, which is fine because that's kind of what I'm pursuing. Basically just getting up at 5 o'clock every morning before work, going and hitting the gym for an hour to an hour and a half, and doing that 4 to 5 days a week, and then table time 1 day a week. I've cycled through a couple different methods of training, which could be a whole different video, but basically trying to figure out what's going to be the best method for building strength for me, particularly for arm wrestling strength. So I'm still sorting all that out, but I am on the right track. I'm recording all my maxes and certain lifts, and the numbers are going up, so doing something right. Anyhow, basically just been training, doing table time, building strength, and let's see, the first thing I've done this year, I believe, was my super match with Tony Tomlinson. I think that was back in like March. Me and him had a super match, left and right hand. Tony moved out to Missouri for a little while, and so being that I'm the #1 ranked guy in Missouri, he wanted a super match with me. It's all fine and dandy. I was a little nervous. Tony's been on my radar for years. He definitely has been one of the highest level, maybe even #1 guy in California for I don't remember how many years. Just super, super stupid strong left hand. Right hand's no joke either. But no, and he's bigger than me. Dadgum. I mean, granted, he could take a little better care of himself, and I hope he does. But mass is mass, man. Big dude. And so, yeah, that was fun. It was a good time. Had a good match. I won left and won right. Left, I had to dig extremely deep to pull that one out. But I managed to do it, so that was a blast. And honestly, that's probably the coolest thing I've done in my arm wrestling journey so far. I was on cloud 9 after winning that. That was fun. That was a good time and a great event. So that was at the Mid-Missouri Showdown. Maybe Mid-Missouri Hoedown. I don't know what he calls it. I think it's Mid-Missouri Showdown in Lebanon, Missouri. Drew Bishop's putting this thing on. It came from his little Garage War series that he had in his garage for a long time, just kind of local super matches now and then to sort out the ranks. Got to the point where there's so many super matches that he had to find a venue to hold all these people. So we do it at Boattown Brewery, maybe. I think it's what it's called. Lebanon, Missouri. Fantastic little venue. Good pizza, good beer. And they let us arm wrestle, so you can't beat that. And a lot of people were getting crammed in there. And there was the last event where I pulled Tony, had a ton of great matches. So that was a blast. We're getting ready to do another one in a week from now, and I'm pulling Mike Evola for my #1 spot. Evola is the guy that I took it from last summer at Strongest Badge in St. Louis. He was the #1 rank, and I beat him in that tournament. And so this will be interesting to see where we're at. I'm kind of a little nervous, but I'll get to more of that in a minute. So after I pulled Tony in March, then in April, I think maybe it was April, I went to Hot Springs for my first ever arm wrestling state championship. It was the PAL Arkansas State Championship in Hot Springs. They offered a 260-pound class. I cut over 20 pounds in 10 days to make that class. For the first time in my life, I cut weight. I don't recommend it. Not that fast, not that much. That was terrible. But I did do okay. I weighed in at 257 the night before. Then I went to a buffet and cleaned them out. And after bankrupting a couple restaurants, the next day I'm sure I was, I don't know, high 260s, I would guess. I probably put 10 or 12 pounds back on overnight between fluids and food. But it was a good time. I didn't weigh myself, so I don't know. But it was a good time. I was definitely not 100%, not even close to being 100% of my strength. That cut took a lot out of me, but it was so much fun getting to pull a weight class that's not just the biggest guys in the room. like I'm used to. So that was cool. That was a good time. It wasn't near as big a tournament as I expected. So, I mean, it's cool to be able to say, like, I won a state tournament or state championship. But it wasn't like I had to beat 15 top level guys in my class or something. There wasn't that much of a turnout. So, but it was still fun. Nevertheless, it was a good time. And that was a fun trip anyways, because Hot Springs is a super cool area. So then after that, brings us to where we're at now. I've just been training between then, putting weight back on. I'm back up to 280, which is about where I hover. But I am the strongest 280 that I've ever been, so that's awesome. And I really would like to cut a little bit of weight, but I need to wait until at least after I pull Evola, because Evola is definitely a heavier man than me. And I don't want to sacrifice any weight or strength if I don't have to. So I'm probably going to trim up after this match, regardless of whether I win or lose. I'll probably try to trim up just a little. But man, that's going to be fun. Mike Evola is super. One, he's a super good dude. But two, he's super freaking strong. Kind of depends on which version of him shows up. I've pulled him twice. The first time I seen him, absolute freak. Beating everybody. Beat Pablo and wiped out the rest of the room. Just outstanding. And then the next time I saw him, whenever I beat him, he was, I don't know if going through some stuff in his life or what the deal was, under the weather maybe. But he was definitely not the same version. And I beat him. So I'm hoping that the good version shows up for my super match, because I don't want to beat some chump. I want to beat somebody that's worthy. You know what I mean? And if I lose to him, I want to lose to somebody that's worthy. I don't want to lose to some chump. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully he's doing good and in good shape. I know I'm coming in ready. I'm very primed and ready. So if he beats me, he beat the best version of me so far. I know I'm just going to keep getting stronger, but you can only go so fast. So we'll see if I'm good enough. After this event, I'm sure there will be opportunity for more super matches, which is probably what I'll lean towards. I really like the super match format. I used to not like it. I used to be strictly tournament, like the tournaments a lot better. But as I have progressed, my endurance has increased a lot, my strength and my table IQ, my knowledge of the sport, and my fluidity on the table of being able to transition between positions and kind of read the match. All of that has improved a lot. And so I think because of that, the super match format allows it to be more like a chess match and also an endurance match if you're close enough in strength. And both of those things I seem to prefer versus just lining up 10 or 15 random dudes at a tournament, and you know that's a whole different category. I do like the super match format a lot, so that's probably what I'll try to pursue if I can line up some more matches. But after I do this event next week, that gives me about 6 months until December, which is that Great American Bash event in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I think it's like 32 of the top super heavyweights in North America, or maybe just America. I don't know if it's actually all of North America. Anyway, some bad dudes. Almost everybody on there is like a national level or world level arm wrestler. So just being able to get in on that is awesome to me. I'm so excited about that, because honestly, I idolize a lot of these guys and have been watching them for quite a while. So getting to meet them and pull them in a tournament, even if I go 0-2, like, worth the trip, man. That's awesome. But I would like to cut weight, and I probably won't cut much weight between. I may cut a little, but I probably won't cut a ton between now and then. One, because I feel like my strength can progress quicker at a higher body weight, and even if I'm increasing my body weight a little bit versus trying to cut and build strength, those things kind of work against each other a little bit. So I may just have to maintain around 280, and even showing up at that event at 280, I'll probably be amongst the smallest 5 or 10 guys on the card. We're talking some big boys, a lot of horsepower, a lot of talent. So that's going to be super, super fun. I'm really looking forward to that. But between now and then, I got 6 months, whether I use that just as a training window, or I might travel to some other groups and get some practice in with some other guys. Or I may hit an odd event here or there, or maybe a super match in between, something. I don't know. But I'm going to have fun with it. I'm enjoying the sport now more than ever. I'm more dedicated now than ever. And the wheels are finally starting to turn. Stuff's starting to happen, and I'm getting a little traction, and I'm on the right track, whether I win or lose in the future. I know that my numbers are going up. I know based on the guys that I train with, how they feel to me. I know that my strength is going up. So it's just a matter of making the climb. Trying to do all this natural without any chemical enhancements means that it's a slow road to hoe. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a minute. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not that I have anything against the guys that are on stuff. But for me personally, that's not the path I want to go down. And so because of that, I know it's going to take a lot longer. Right? So I'm cool with that because I enjoy it. I like the training. I like the gaining the experience and the putting the miles on my arm, and that's all part of the journey. So right now, that's where I'm at. First half of 2024 has been a blast. I've made a lot of progress. Hopefully the second half is equally as fun, and I can make more progress and accomplish a few more big things. So that's all I got. I'll check back in after the super match with Mikey Vola in a week. Hopefully I have good news. Y'all be good.